Hey Ann, how you doing? Congratulations, your item is looking much better. Really going a good path now. I'll just quickly go through the details that you have here. So the flow of this item is going left and right. We should fix it. We clearly exaggerated on the damage here. Okay, so we need to fix this as well. And we have a strong seam here. So very bad seam here that you need to fix. And this here, it's not looking great, while it's something that it should look great. So we need to work a bit on this, okay? Now, color value is what you test your object against to see if it's gonna pop up and look nice on your portfolio, okay? What I normally do, I bring my image, my renders into Photoshop, and I'll just duplicate this thing twice. Actually, I'm just gonna delete this one, and I'm gonna, first of all, desaturate it. Okay, and then I'm going to right click, duplicate layer, and right click, duplicate layer. So 3. Once I have that on this one, I'm going to add the brightness and contrast modifier and just crank the brightness up. Okay, I'll alt click it so that it affects only this layer, and in here I'm going to add a mask which I'm going to paint black. Cool. So what we're seeing is the bottom layer. Great. Now here we're going to do the same, but we're going to go darker. So we go darker here. Cool. And we're going to alt click it here, and we're going to add the mask, and we're going to paint. And so what we're seeing again is the bottom layer. Great. Now on this layer, and we can add a folder just for organization purposes. I'll drag it all here. So great. Now on this mask here, the bright one, I'm going to start to try to enhance parts that I think that need work. So I see the same value here, pretty much the same value and different materials going on. So what I would do is I would pop this metal a bit. Now my opacity is set to 9% for some reason. So I would paint. All I'm doing is uncovering the layer that has brightness, okay? That is brighter. That is. So I'm getting an immediate contrast here from here to there, and from there to this part, and from this part to this part. So immediately more interesting. Now we have all these dots here, which in this case I'm just gonna simply paint black. So unpaint on my mask, make them pop this way. Don't mind my sloppy painting. This is just for us to be able to visualize it and see what's the story. Okay, but yeah, this for me immediately pops out a lot your item. It just does something to it. If you look from a distance especially, yeah, something is working there. Obviously these buttons are not properly painted. Now on the darker one, I would paint dark this part. I would darken it somehow. I know you have it black, so it's a matter of playing with the reflectivity. It's bouncing a lot of light, and maybe it needs less or more, and it needs to be cleaner, but it just needs to be a bit darker to pop that thing out. Here, this stripe here, it's very good if you could darken it. This just gives a very great contrast there and up to this thing here as well. Okay, this chord I will make darker as well. Especially because we're faking it, so the less light it has, the better. Okay, and maybe here I would try and lighten this a bit. Maybe this is too much, but we're just playing with it, so having fun with it, not committing to anything. We're just seeing how this thing would work if it was this way. Okay, great. And now that we're looking at it, we can turn the folder off and on and see that we get something going on here. Arguably, some parts are working, some parts not that much. Maybe this is not working really great, but we will see. Obviously here we can make it darker as well. If we want to make the contrast darker or more dramatic there. And this in substance is achieved by simply, imagine the color here is this one. So you go to the diffuse channel, the base color channel. Imagine this is the color that is there. If you want it darker, you just go down on the same line. So you just go down. That's all it is. So in here, if you want it brighter, you go up. And if you want it darker, you just go darker on the base color. Okay, and yeah, so this is what you do when you want to see your item and try and find a contrast for your thing. It's a world of difference between this and that in terms of contrast, and it will show on your item. I promise. Okay, maybe these parts are irrelevant. Maybe this is exaggerated. Maybe it's too much. But I'm pretty sure this part here and this thing here would benefit as well as this stripe. Once you figure out whatever you want to do, just go back to Painter. Start taking screenshots. Bring it back to Photoshop and contrast with what you made and see if you're going in the right direction or not, and if it's doing any good or bad. But yeah, it should work. Good luck, man.